know we're close quarters here, but it looks good on the iFlip. So I'm just really excited to ask you these questions and help other assistants and help them find their way if they haven't started. And if they are in the business, just help them along their daily.
Yeah.
So you got a good position through MySpace, right?
Yes. I was one of the lucky few who just happened to be clicking on MySpace, and I recognized Jessica, Kathy's old assistant, from the show, and I just happened to send her a message asking how she became a personal assistant, and they needed help at the time, so I tried it out, and almost 5 years later, I'm still with Kathy.
Yeah, that's great.
It's kind of amazing.
Yeah, and I found Tiffany on MySpace as well, so a few years ago, and just found her as well, so we just kind of, just here and there, just kind of ask questions and talk back and forth. It's fun. Now, did you have any prior experience? I read that you were just about to graduate, right?
Yeah, I was straight out of college, so I really didn't have any personal assistant experience. I mean, I've worked in offices and been assistant to people like that, but nothing like totally different.
Yeah, perfect. So Jessica probably helped you out a lot.
Yeah.
That's great that you had somebody.
Yeah, it was definitely great having her there showing me the ropes.
Oh, yeah.
Instead of just being thrown into the fire, which I kind of was because I didn't really have any training, but as the years went on, it got easier. And
oh yeah, then you build up your contacts and everything.
Yeah,
that's good. Sure. Absolutely. Now, is it what you thought it would be?
I didn't know what it was, so I didn't. I can't say it's what I thought it was because I didn't really know what was entailed. I just knew there would be travel, and I knew I'm not married, I don't have kids, so either I could have that 9-to-5 desk job, or I could have this opportunity that I didn't know if I would have in the future.
Right. It's a rough life going to New York for New Year's Eve on that,
I know, I can't complain. I mean, I complain, but I can't complain.
Yeah. So. Now, is it just you, or do you have an assistant that helps you assist?
Right now, it's just me.
Okay.
So, kind of the lone soldier, but it's kind of been great. We're not doing the D-list this year, so it's a little sad. So things are a little kind of slowed down, but the touring will be a lot more. And stuff always comes up. Yeah. Just when I think it's going to slow down, it doesn't.
Which is great. You never know. You never know what's going to happen next. So it keeps life interesting.
Yeah, sure. So, which is why I love the job.
Right.
Because I hate getting into a routine and knowing exactly what my day is going to be. I love when stuff just pops up.
Like the spreadsheets do. Yeah, you don't have to do that.
Yeah.
It's wonderful. So what does your typical day look like? Like what would you start your day probably at what time?
If it's a normal day, I'll start at 10 o'clock and I'll just get to the office. Yeah, I kind of baker's hours. 10 to 6. Yeah. So, I mean, just answering emails. If we're going on tour, it's me booking the trips and getting her ready for that. I mean, sometimes we've had those 5 a.m. calls that are not fun at all. But if she's filming something or doing radio or whatever, so the schedule always varies, but normally it's supposed to be 10 to 6.
10 to 6. That's really good. So emails, like how many do you have a day?
I mean, it could vary from like hundreds to like, depending on what time of year it is. Like the holidays, they kind of tapered off because no one's in the office.
Right.
But I could like get caught up with emails, like walk away for 10 minutes and come back and have 20 more. So it's just like, it depends.
Oh, and the best part is when you answer that email and then they reply.
Yeah.
And they're like, thank you.
But that's why I have my Crackberry, my mobile office with me all the time.
Which is going off in her purse, but she kindly put it away.
I put it away. I've clocked out.
Yeah.
Although you don't really ever clock.
You don't have, absolutely. So were you a big traveler before you started the show?
I mean, I've traveled a little bit. I didn't really do as much as I had been. So I've definitely amped up those miles. And
how many do you think you lost?
Lots. I just recently became a Premier United flyer, so
that's great.
So I'm getting up there.
Yeah.
But it's just been the past year, so it's just been crazy with the travel.
What's your favorite city that you traveled to?
I think my favorite one has to be Boston. I love Boston for some reason. I don't know why. Yeah. It's a great city.
I know Matt Damon's from there, right?
Yeah. Ben Affleck.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. Oh, yeah, you like him too. I saw that. Yeah. I was like, I need to go to town.
Yeah, no, I just love walking around Boston. I love the accent.
Yeah.
The food is delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you have any packing tips? Do you like throw everything in 10 minutes, or do you have
Well, seeing that I travel so much, which is mostly like once a week, now I wait till last minute. I don't even, I mean, I kind of just know what I need to pack at this point, but my method, we've been carrying on a lot more just because so we don't have to check bags.
Oh yeah, me too.
So I've been having to be strategic in my outfit to make sure I can mix and match things, and then getting like 1 or 2 pairs of shoes that could fit in. And my method for getting all my clothes in is rolling them.
Is the rolling them?
Yeah,
Have you
like
tried my cute method? Oh, okay. My friends do make fun of me, but it works. I'll show you later.
My mom does that. My mom puts everything in Ziploc bags, but that's a little OCD for me. So
Oh, okay. Alright,
the rolling method.
that does work. That does work. Do you get a chance to shop when you travel and experience the culture?
It just depends. I mean, sometimes we're going city to city every day, and sometimes like we were in Portland, and I think I had 2 days in Portland because she had 2 days worth of shows there.
Yeah.
So I was able to walk around, we were able to shop a little bit, just experience the city. So sometimes I do, and sometimes I
Yeah, it
don't.
just depends. But you know that you'll be going to this back soon anyway.
Yeah.
Probably the tour. Yeah. Okay, I'll hit it next time. So you tweet a lot about working out, which is great. How do you kind of balance that when you travel and like in your hotel?
Well, working out kind of keeps me sane.
Yeah.
For the busy tennis. So it's kind of just like my stress release.
Right.
So I try to keep up with it. I mean, when I'm home in LA, it's a little better because I can either schedule it in the morning or at night, depending on what's going on. On the road, it's a little more tough. I mean, we pretty much always have a gym in our hotel, so I try to go there when we land or whatever. But it's hard when you're traveling West Coast to East Coast just with the time difference.
Yeah.
So I try to fit it in as much as I can.
Absolutely. And man, eating is really so hard because you have craft services like right there and you back and call. You're like, oh.
Yeah, eating's the worst too because Kathy's kind of a foodie.
Yeah.
She loves just like comfort food.
Yeah.
So we're on the like Food Network website, like going to all the places like diners, drive-ins, and dives. Like we go to all those places. Yeah.
Oh gosh, milkshakes and everything.
So she's all about the good hamburgers in town, the good pizzas. Like she wants to get like the mom and pop places.
Yeah.
I know. She can have all that stuff, and then I'm running on the treadmill every day.
Yeah. Do you pack like your own snacks with almonds or bars or anything to get you through the day?
I try to keep like an apple or a banana. Bars are always good. Try to have those with us at all times.
Airports are getting better. They're giving you more choices.
They're getting better, but they're still not the best.
I did go this trip here. I went to. I didn't do it, but there was Cinnabon.
Oh,
right.
that's the worst.
Yes, but they did have yogurt and fruit. Right,
But it's always the most expensive thing. Like the fruit's like $10, but you can buy a donut for $1.
Yeah, I could go to Wendy's and get the frosting. Yeah, whatever. So okay. So do you get recognized for being on the show?
Every now and then. I mean, it's mostly gay guys who recognize me, which I am not. It's not bad.
That's fine.
It's fun. It's always weird when they're like, "Can I have your autograph?" And I'm like, "Why do you want my autograph? It's not
Because
worth
you're fabulous. Yeah.
I'm like,
You're so
okay. They're like, "Sign my book." They always want me to sign Kathy's book. I'm like, "I'm really need this." Why?
No. And then I would like to ask you, you're on the go constantly and you are going to all these events and fun things. How do you maintain like being comfy and chic at the same time? That's a challenge because you want to wear your Nikes at the event, but you won't look so chic.
No, it's hard because I'm always like carrying Kathy's shoes and all that stuff at events, but then you still want to look good. But I mean, I pretty much suffer. I always try to carry flats with me, and now they have those new Dr. Scholl's flats that
they do?
they fit in a clutch, which are amazing. Yeah, they're amazing.
They're like ballet flats?
Yeah, ballet flats. I mean, they're not that much comfort, but they're good on your feet.
Yeah, that's good.
But another good thing, I love H&M for dresses, for like my party dresses. When you get their sale and they're $10, people. My Grammy dress last year was $10.
I went, yes, I saw that, and I think I responded. I had a pink H&M, Forever 21. I spent like $15, and I got the most compliments on it. Everybody's in like thousands of dollars.
And I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
My mom's like, don't tell them it's $10. I'm like, I'm proud of my merch.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, well, are there any other tips that you would like to tell other assistants, like starting out?